Welcome to Crash Course Mathematics. Today's presentation will be on war. This production is brought to you by JC, Lauren, and Issa. Okay, let's get started.
A motif is a distinctive feature or dominant idea in an artistic or literary work. War is a common motif across both poetry and prose, and in fiction and nonfiction. Here are some examples.
Achilles was a brave lion in battle. This line from the Iliad by Homer displays a literary device metaphor, a comparison of two dissimilar things, because he is comparing Achilles' ferocity in battle to that of a lion.
The Gettysburg Address was given after the most deadly battle of the Civil War, showing war as a destructive force. The opening line, 7 years ago, our fathers brought forth on this continent, uses alliteration, words with the same beginning consonant sound close together in a series, shown by the repetition of the letter F.
A wild blue sky abreast of winds that threatened it did run, and crouched behind his yellow door was the defiant sun. Some conflict with those upper friends so genial in the main that we deplore peculiarly their arrogant campaign. Emily Dickinson personifies or attributes human characteristics to something non-human through the sky and the sun's actions of running and crouching in their daily conflict. This displays personification as the sun and the sky are inanimate and cannot run or crouch as humans do.
Beat, drums, blow, bugles blow. The beginning line of the poem displays onomatopoeia, a word that imitates the natural sounds of something, as exemplified in the words beat, beat, drum, and blow, bugle, blow, because they mimic the sounds of war through the drum and the bugle.
Hamlet speaks of his war with himself when he says, "Mad as the sea and wind when both contend, which is mightier, in his flawless fit behind the auras, hearing something stir." The simile in this line is used to compare Hamlet's internal struggles to the roaring sea.
Stephen Crane employs irony when saying, "Do not weep, maiden, for war is kind," because war is in fact not kind, as it is filled with death and destruction.
Allusion is seen in the poem Love and War by Ovid. Lovers all are soldiers, and Cupid has his campaigns. I tell you, Atticus, lovers all are soldiers. Youth is fit for war, and also fit for Venus. Allusion is an expression designed to call something to mind without mentioning it explicitly, an indirect or passing reference. The allusion in this poem is to Roman mythology.
Paradox, a self-contradictory statement that may prove to be true, is apparent in "Lover of calm, I seek turmoil. Nature and hostile destiny stir in my heart a conflict wild, and long and fierce the war will be," by saying that a lover of calm seeks turmoil. While it might seem contradictory for one to love calm yet seek turmoil, it is also possible for one to be undergoing an important life change. Friedrich von Schiller utilizes rhyme in "Then labor came next, and the conflict began, with monsters and beasts famed in song, and heroes upstarted as rulers of man, and the weak sought the aid of the strong." Rhyme is demonstrated in the second and fourth lines ending in song and strong.
Why then, O brawling love, O loving hate, O anything of nothing first create, O heavy lightness, serious vanity, misshapen chaos of well-seeming forms. Oxymoron, in which two opposing ideas are joined to create an effect, is exemplified in the line, O brawling love, O loving hate, because of the contrasting words brawling and love and loving and hate. The opposing words create the effect of the emotional conflict and turmoil that the characters face. Enjambment, in poetry, a movement from one line to another without punctuation, is exemplified in the poem Woman in War by Ella Wheeler Wilcox in the lines, "Triumphant hour of conquest, ours the slow dread torture of uncertainty each day," because it transitions from slow to dread without any punctuation.
Hyperbole, exaggerated statements or claims not meant to be taken literally, can be seen in the Inaugural Address of John F. Kennedy.
Let every nation know, whether it wishes us well or ill, that we shall pay any price, bear any burden, meet any hardship, support any friend, oppose any foe, to assure the survival and the success of liberty.
The poem Fire and Ice by Robert Frost exhibits understatement, a figure of speech in which a situation is made to seem less important than it is, in the lines, "To say that for destruction ice is also great and would suffice." Frost ends the poem with the word suffice, which is an understatement given that the poem is about the world ending through conflict and other humans harming each other.
We can see synecdoche, a part of something that refers to the whole of something in They Were Called Legs or Grunts, by Tim O'Brien, referring to the soldiers solely by their legs.
Hamlet says, "Thou wretched, rash, intruding fool, farewell," after he kills his uncle Polonius, avenging his father. This quote is an example of consonance, the repetition of similar consonant sounds shown through the sound of the letter R. Rash, intruding, farewell.
Shakespeare utilizes iambic pentameter in Mine eye and heart are at a mortal war, how to divide the conquest of thy sight, through an unstressed syllable preceding a stressed syllable in 5 groups of 2 that total 10 syllables. The regular metrical verse but unrhymed lines in That durst dislike his reign, and me preferring his utmost power with adverse power opposed in dubious battle on the plains of heaven, and shook his throne, what though the field be lost, is indicative of blank verse.
Free verse is an open form of poetry. It does not use consistent meter patterns or rhyme patterns. We can see free verse in the poem War by Charles Wagner. Where has the dreamer gone? Off to war. And his dreams, he had to lay them aside.
In the poem To His Coy Mistress, Andrew Marvell uses metonymy, which is a figure of speech in which the name of a thing is replaced with something it is closely associated with. This is exhibited in his use of the word son, which is a metonymy to time passing away, to display the conflict between a man trying to court a mistress and the dwindling time.
Assonance in poetry is the repetition of the sound of a vowel in non-rhyming stressed syllables near enough to each other for the echo to be discernible. Assonance can be seen in the poem Do Not Go Gentle Into That Good Night by Dylan Thomas. Do not go gentle into that good night. Old age should burn and rave at close of day. Rage, rage against the dying of the light. Assonance is shown in this poem by the A sound, evident in words such as rave, day, rage, and gay. This poem is about the conflict of struggling for survival.
Alright, class, that's the lesson for today. We learned about the motif of war and how prominent it is in literature. And that's the T